So this is the lowest of low-fi podcasting you're probably going to hear. That means there's going to be all kinds of crazy sounds in the background because, quite honestly, it's COVID-19 pandemic 2020, and I am finding my peace and my creativity on the streets. This is my walk and talk. My grandma passed away from polio in 1953. In all honesty, I never really thought about my grandmother until I was older, because for the longest time, me and my sisters thought that everybody only got one set of grandparents, and even those might sometimes be far away and not easily accessible. We were a very nuclear family growing up. We moved quite a lot, my parents and my two sisters and I. And so the idea of extended family is something that I think I've always just sort of shoved down deep inside me somewhere. Even though it's incredibly important to me, there's probably nothing more important to me than family. So during a time of crisis, when so many older people have been dying of COVID, I started to think about the flippancy that people have when they talk about the deaths and it being older people and why don't we just keep moving. And the reality is, every time we lose somebody, the earth opens and something is truly lost and gone forever. And very often changes happen, generational changes that we just can't even see. Sometimes it's as hard as trying to describe what a mom even is.
You there, Mama?
I am.
How are you? Hi, good. How are you?
I'm good.
I decided to call my mom and have some conversations with her, and this is our first conversation.
Yeah, maybe I was thinking, Ma, just to kind of kick this off, because maybe if you're open to it, we could have a few different conversations, obviously. I feel like there's a little bit bigger story here.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I was just kind of thinking about it from a lot of different perspectives, and knowing that the hardest challenge is having you guys try to talk about something when you were so young.
Yeah.
But do you have any perspective of that, Mom, of the general polio epidemic at that time period, how it affected you guys, or if you recall anything during that period?
Yeah. So, like as you said, Mandy, I quite honestly, I was too young to really know it in terms of polio. Unfortunately, almost all those people are past now that I could now ask about that, and I so wish I could talk to some of those people now, because I'm sure they would talk and they'd, probably have stronger memories. What I wonder, Mandy, because I think I sent you a little phone text of a couple articles.
Right.
And the one said that she had bulbar polio, which is the most deadly.
Yeah.
And then because it was such a contagious polio, I wondered what took place within the family. Was everybody terrified that they'd been exposed? I wonder how Dad felt. I wonder how Grandma and Grandpa felt, because Grandma and Grandpa Cameron, because they, interacted a lot with our family. They, and then, even once our mom died, I wonder, was everybody afraid to have us girls in their home. Or from my Uncle Fay, he told me that they sort of divided us girls up, and each of us one went to Grandma and Grandpa, one went to Aunt Loma, and one went to another aunt. I don't know if that was Aunt Dorothy or who. And so I just wonder if there were any fears that and then also fears if us kids may have had it.
Well,
because
that's what I was wondering, Ma, if you guys had it, if you had had it, and if that's how she caught it, you know? Because there were a lot of asymptomatic children, right, that had had it.
Boy. And I have never heard that spoken of. Nobody has ever said that maybe as kids, there's a chance as kids may have had it.
I listened to a podcast the other day on polio because I just didn't understand it very much.
Okay.
And it is surprising how the history of it is still told so much like it's such a children's disease that really adults weren't really affected. And so just the idea of, like, I can't imagine her family must have been stunned. I mean, maybe your dad was just in total shock that.
Yeah. I do wonder why Pam, Vic, or we seem not to have been affected. Right. We seem not to have gotten sick.
Right.
Or shown any symptoms, which is I think is remarkable, since she was our mom was our main caregiver.
Exactly.
No, we just don't know. But Pam and I have always talked about, we seem to have that one shared memory that we both remember our mom vacuuming and the couch pulled up, vacuuming behind the couch, and then. But we could be, you know how that is, Mandy, we just don't know if it's a true memory.
I know.
And we don't know if but it's not like Pam told me about it and then I said, oh yeah, I must have that memory too.
Right.
It was kind of like we both said, this is what I remembered and it was, that's my memory too, it was like that.
Wow, yeah.
But that's the only memory that we have in common about that event, is that, so she was vacuuming behind the couch, and then she fell to the floor, like she passed out, and then Pam thinks she called Grandma Cameron. Because Pam would have been either
like
4 or 5 then.
Oh, God.
4 or 5. So I don't know if you're 4. I'm not sure you could. And back then it was one of those dial phones with the little holes in it. So I don't know. That seems unlikely. Possibly as a 5-year-old she could do that. But
otherwise, if she didn't, I mean, were you guys just sitting there?
Because we remember. Well, we remember Grandma Cameron pretty quickly arriving, and then we think we remember an ambulance, but really, it's just, man, we just don't know if that's a true memory or not.
Yeah.
But that's sort of the scenario we remember. I really, really wish I knew. What happened? After? So our mom got sick, went to the hospital. 3 days later, died. What was the ripple effect? And I don't have answers. Yeah, I don't have answers, and I wish I did.
I just don't know where this story is going to go, but I do know that there will be a cast of characters. There will be entertainment. There will be laughter. There will probably be tears. And at the end of the day, if you just need somebody to listen to while you're on your COVID-19 walk, this might be the right podcast for you.